This is this is gonna be an interesting stream, ladies and gentlemen. It's gonna be an interesting stream. A boy Loc, man. What's going on, Loc Choco?
I am good, brother. Just chilling.
So did you hear about what happened with your boy CoryxKenshin, man? What's your take on this, man? What's your take on this? I gotta know.
My man was speaking facts, facts, and nothing but the facts.
What do
Like,
you think he was speaking the
dude,
facts on, though? That's the question, though. What do you think the whole thing was about, man? I gotta know.
the whole bias thing about YouTube on their content creators. Like, yo, this man had enough, and enough was enough, and he had like this was the straw that broke the camel's back. Like when he caught you in something, he doubled down. He was like, "Oh, he wasn't going to say, oh, thank you for fixing this." No, he said, "Nah, I'm coming at you even harder." Like this doesn't make any sense because this is not the first time. This is not the second time. This is not the third, fourth, fifth. This probably has happened to him so many times. It's not even funny. On top of that, this man actually takes the time to literally edit out curse words if he says them. I don't even do that. And the person that he actually said, like, I forgot the guy's name, that he took the content from his channel, this dude has a foul mouth like a sailor. So, yeah. It's like, come on. He has over 30 million subscribers. Corey has like what is that? I think like 14 million subscribers. Like, come on, like I don't even know what to say. It's like this man to him is just like, yo, enough is enough. I'm sick of this. I'm calling you out on your BS. You know, you always do this. Every time I come back, I'm up there. He's number one trending, and then something happens. On top of that, he's not on YouTube that much. He said it himself. He's like, what you said, he's like gone for like I think like what, 6 to 8 months? This is ridiculous. I wish I could take time off like that. But yeah,
Right, right.
that's
Because most of us have to upload every day, or at least a lot more frequently than that to even be noticed, man. So it's like, yeah, like he can do that, but this man has been he's still being targeted though. You feel me? He's still being
hmm
targeted. And it shows you if someone with 14 million subscribers can be targeted, what the hell you think is happening to Loc Choco? You know what I'm saying?
exactly, exactly.
So I,
But
I would love to watch this video because I want you to hear this. If anyone hasn't heard this, I would love for people to hear this so that we can understand exactly where this man's coming from. You feel me? So
another thing that he also stated that the first review is done by a bot, right? So I did a video myself where I'm saying like this is what I want to do on my channel, but also give it an introduction because I will be doing reaction videos soon. You can always check that out on my channel on different things that I want to talk about or that I have interest in, right? And my thing is like got partially demonetized. There was no negative, nothing negative in the video. I'm literally like just talking about myself and things I want to do about my channel and giving some aspects of my life. And they partially demonetized it. I don't understand that whatsoever. I'm already fighting it, but I'm already fighting it. But my thing to say about this is that the first one is a bot, right? But the next one is a person. So a person literally denied and said no. like, like no, your content is age restricted. It's
allegedly,
like,
it's a person. Allegedly.
yeah, well, yeah, okay. We'll use the alleged word.
Yeah, because with some of the implications, I'm gonna say allegedly, but at the same time, I don't think it's allegedly. I think it is reviewed by a person, and that person just happens to be racist. But we, I think it is. But I would love to watch this video, man, because I think I like the way that Corey approached this, right? Because if he came in there like Malcolm X, right, you know what would have happened. They were like, "Oh, you're just going full black power, right?" But you notice how he worded it. It's kind of hard to attack him because he stuck strictly to the facts. You can't deny the facts.
Nope, and he kept it humble. He kept
Yeah.
it humble, relaxed. He didn't really. There was no black anger whatsoever.
No.
Like he let you know, inf- air quotes, black man. Like yo, black man. Okay, you are targeting me because I am black, and there's nothing else to justify whatsoever. And he even said when he got his plaque, they didn't give it to him right away. You know, they were just taking their time. And he said, but when everybody else got their plaque, it was a different story.
Yeah, that one was kind of weird. I thought that was very unusual. Like, what's up with the play button? Like, you didn't give him the man the play button. I mean, he has that many subscribers. Like, and it's almost like a slap in the face. Like they were giving it to him reluctantly. You know?
Right. Right.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and play this and let's see what he says.
I'm going to try my best to articulate this video as thoroughly, as plainly, as eloquently as possible. I don't want there to be any lost context. I don't want to just look like I'm coming out of nowhere having a temper tantrum because these things are happening. The allegations I am levying towards YouTube are extremely serious, and I'm taking this video extremely seriously.
Yes, I am. I'm playing it for the audience. So basically, he first started off, and he goes into how he has to kind of explain things off, like how he's saying, "Hey, I'm not just being angry. I'm not just being, upset about this, and some of the allegations that I'm making are going to be very serious." So my thing is, the fact that he has to even start things off like that lets me know, right, that he already planned on people gaslighting him. Mm-hmm. The very fact, like the very fact that he has to start off, with basically kind of hedging himself against the trolls, hedging himself against people who want a mass flag, hedging himself against people who are gonna like gaslight. It's sad that a black man has to go through, basically go through a 2 or 3 minute soliloquy just to say, hey, what I'm saying is actually legitimate. Please don't judge me based on my skin color, and please don't discard me based on my skin color. It's very, very sad that you got to start off with that. You know?
Right. Like, hold on. It's like when you're in a movie theater, like, shh, be silent. Turn off your phone. The movie's about to start. So he's literally letting you know, like, this is what's going to go down. And yeah, this is going to be pretty damn serious. So please just give me a moment and let me speak my piece.
Wow. And it's so sad that you couldn't even get into the first part in the video without this man having to almost justify and say, hey, listen, I know you don't usually believe black people, but please believe me this time. Like, that's sad. Like, god dang, like, is it that bad in this country? And is that bad on this planet? Is it that bad on YouTube? Team YouTube, you're looking like a bunch of Klansmen right now. A bunch of digital Klansmen. I gotta be honest with you.
Yeah. Listen, this is the funny thing. I'm in different spaces on Twitter, and I hear a lot of people. There are people who literally came close to having 100K subscribers and taken down. Just taken down.
Yeah, and then it's very convenient.
Back up.
It's very convenient, the timing too. The timing of it. Like, that's the part that bothers me the most. Like if you're gonna shut me down, why not do it from the curse words? He's squeaky fucking clean.
You can't touch him.
Yeah.
You cannot touch him. And his audience is mostly kids.
Right.
So he's like literally saying, like, yo, my audience is kids. I don't want to give them this bad nature. And he also says, look, listen, when this happens to him, I don't want to be that guy. I said, no, it was a mistake. This ain't listen, this is the straw that broke the camel's back, man. Right. And you now realize that, it's funny when you go into like some spaces, they literally said like he's getting his black wake up call. But I think he already had that wake up call. He just didn't want to perceive to be that angry black guy or anything like that, or go at it in a different direction. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna just keep on flowing, doing my thing. But at the same time, had he spoke out probably earlier, a lot of us would be up there, because YouTube always says like we're going to diversify.
Right?
Where?
Yeah. Like he made a great point in this video. He says if you were to log out right now and you go back on YouTube, you would see who's the top creators. Just like you said. you would all see it would mostly be white. And the part about that makes no sense, right? That makes no sense is that most people in the world aren't white.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part. Like, so how is it that it's mostly white creators when most people on the planet wouldn't even identify with those creators?
And the thing is, this goes for all platforms.
Right.
All, let's see, TikTok.
For sure.
Yo, you go on TikTok. That's where the first thing I see, because I'm still getting used to TikTok. But first thing I see is usually white creators. The first thing they throw at me is Addison, whatever the hell her name is. I'm like, yo, I don't want to see this girl at all.
Right.
At all. It's like I
I
could go
have
select who
I
want
have
to see.
nothing against her, but I don't see why TikTok would.
Listen,
Yeah.
when you give props because of somebody's skin color and not the talent that they have,
Right.
to me that is a problem. When because TikTok back what 20, I think it's 2020. I think it's
Right.
2020. When TikTok was like, when you realize like Addison Rae and the rest of them are being propped up and they're doing all these black dances, but they're not giving credit to those who've been doing these dances. That's why you saw a mass exodus of black people on TikTok.
Right.
I mean, there are people now on TikTok, but most of them are not dancing.
Right.
Most of the people I see on TikTok are giving black facts and throwing it at you hard.
Yeah, I gotta give a few shout outs. One is Loc Choco. Go follow him on TikTok. He been doing this. 3 minutes of black empowerment. Even though me and Marcel had like a little bit of beef, Marcel Dixon. You got Ernest Crum. You got Barton Law LLC. An actual lawyer. You got Auntie Wiggs, black woman. You got so much talent, and all they do is spit hard raw facts at you now. Like we don't because trying to do entertainment when we know it's just gonna be stolen and we're never gonna give actual credit, and other white creators are gonna be pushed over on top of us.
No
Yeah.
props whatsoever.
Yeah.
And just so you know, Marcel Dixon is a candidate. He is in the South. So if you were in the South, look him up.
Exactly.
He is for reparations for black people. He fights for equal right. He does not see himself as the G word first. He sees himself as black first.
Right. And
that's
the one thing I will
exactly-
give Marcel, even his fiance is black. I gotta give him that. Like he's I do date interracially, but the ones who don't, hey, I can't hate on that. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, I will give the one thing, one credit to Marcel is that he is fighting on ground zero. 40% of your slaves who came in through the slave port, who actually did. I believe a lot of us were already here, but the ones who did come on slave ports came in through South Carolina. So he's fighting on ground zero. All right. So reparations.
My family is directly from the South, so yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I want to play a little bit more of this video because he says a lot of things just for the audience sake,
Right.
These are the three options, YouTube. Which one is it? Here's my proof. I've been doing YouTube a long time.
YouTube a long time.
I
yeah.
never want to be that guy. Oh, it's because I'm black. Oh, these issues are happening because I'm black. There have been certain situations that I looked at kind of funny. I said,
He said something very, very interesting on just now. He says there were certain situations that he looked at kind of funny in the past, but he didn't say anything. And I'm wondering, is that where he is wrong? Because you should have said something then, right?
You should listen if you see a problem, like if I'm as big as he is, right, and I know I'm getting there, and I know this is going to be challenging creators like me who need that voice. You have to sometimes say like, yo, I got to call this out for what it is, because if this is happening to me, this is happening to others as well. So you're also hurting other people just like you by just holding that in. Just
Right.
release the beast. If people will stick by, like, people will still stick by you because you're being honest. You're being honest with yourself, and you're telling the truth on what's happening to people who look like you, and maybe not even the people who look like you. It could be other people as well. YouTube does not just do this to black people, but they do this to other people as well.
Right.
But a lot of white content creators, they get away with this, and that's the
Right.
thing he's pointing out. Like, he literally had to look literally for an hour, 2 hours for someone who he can reference off of. Happens to be a bigger creator who is white, who was not age restricted at all.
Yeah, but there's one thing that you just said that I thought was very, very interesting. So there have been some defenses of Corey that I will consider, and they're saying Corey's been on YouTube for over 10 years,
Right.
and there was a
You know
time
how old?
frame.
Let me ask you this: do you know how old he is?
He's 29.
Okay, you do know. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So he's been on YouTube for a while, but I will say there were times in which talking the way he does right now, because you got to remember, foundational Black Americans, as a very term, hasn't been around for like super duper long, and our influence now, it helps the African diaspora, it helps other Black people, because the dominant white society knows that if you upset us, we can pull up now. They know that. So we can give Black creators like CoryxKenshin support now. But let's say before George Floyd, the country looked a lot different then. And social opinions, like back in 2016, 2015, 2014, the alt-right was super prevalent on YouTube. And they still are, but nowhere near as they were in like 2016.
Bro, let me tell you something. YouTube has people, literally, I kid you not, you can even look this up if you want. YouTube has people who have channels, right, where it's just degrading us.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
You have white people degrading us. You have Spanish people degrading us. You have divestors degrading their own people. You don't know what a divester is? Go look it up. I'm not going to explain that. Yeah, you have everybody degrading us, and they get away with it. There are no strikes on their channel. Speak your piece, and they get views. So it's like the negative going against the positive. So we're trying to speak like this is the truth. This is the positive, right? But then you have all this negative also flowing in YouTube as well.
Correct.
Who's winning? It ain't us.
Right. And that's the thing that I did explain. I said, Corey, I understand, if he didn't say anything because of the kind of content that he makes, you don't necessarily want to get, political. You want to try to make as much money as possible. I get him not want to get involved in social stuff and politics. But my counter argument against that is that by not speaking out about police corruption, by not speaking out about racism, by not speaking out stuff, Corey, you're still Black, brother.
Right.
You still OJ. You still OJ, brother. So by not speaking out, you are only hurting yourself. So I'm glad that he did it now, because let's also give him credit when he actually did do it, because a lot of them who are out there now still aren't speaking out about it, and even when they do, they just cooning. So
this is another thing.
Yeah,
I want you to take a look at how many Black creators are on YouTube that are as high as he is. There ain't that many.
Yeah.
There's only not even a handful. I probably say like there's a few fingers.
Correct.
That's about it.
I tell you, and the main reason is that we get flagged and we get demonetized and put into a limited state and actually age restricted so often that to the algorithm we are a bad channel, so they don't recommend this. So they don't actually recommend us. But then you'll have a white creator who puts out content constantly to degrade us. Like, for example, for the longest time, Steven Crowder was putting out some of the most racist crap you can think of, right? He was this Canadian YouTuber, Trump guy, known to be ultra white ring, and he put out stuff mocking George Floyd, watermelon skits.
That's ironic because they literally say, "Oh, go to Canada, man, because Canada is not racist."
Canada is racist as hell, dude. Like everyone knows.
I know
that.
it is.
Yeah,
I know it is. I know exactly.
And
I was like,
it's like they sat there and said that the northern states of the U.S. aren't racist. Well, I'm in like Washington State. It's racist as fuck here, dude. All right, it's racist as hell. But again, it is very interesting though, because they allow Steven Crowder, they allow Ben Shapiro to sometimes push out racist stuff. They allowed there's a guy named Edgy Spinks, but he was called Braving Ruin. He's a Middle Eastern white supremacist. His father is Egyptian, but he hates Black people, and he lives in freaking Chicago. It's bizarre. But you've had people like that on YouTube who have been monetized, making big money. Meanwhile, I put out a video about an actual news story about an actual cop who actually gets fucking arrested, and all I do is give you the raw facts. Live in the state.
Bro,
That's news material, bro.
That is news material. I put out a video literally talking about a little bit about myself and what I want to do in the future with my channel. And they literally partially demonetized me. I'm like, what?
That's wild.
How?
That's why.
How?
Or I'll give you another prime example. Rizza Islam, man. It doesn't matter what his damn opinion is. They demonetize the hell out of him, yo. It don't matter. Listen, he could get on a video and says the sky's blue, demonetized, limited state, age restricted. Like, listen, this man can say water is wet. Yo, they might swat this man, bro.
Oh
They might
my
swat
God.
that man, bro. Rizza Islam, I feel so bad for that man, yo. He can't get monetized anywhere. Like, yo, like that's why I have nothing but respect for the black Muslims because they never cared. They never cared about any of that shit. They just kept speaking. But damn, yo, like,
That's it. That is
like
it.
it was talking about something. Well, he's talking about that freaking anti-vax stuff. It's like that's not the reason, bro. He talked about police brutality, and they still demonetized that man, bro. It don't matter.
Right. And this is what I'm coming to the conclusion. It's like I'm just talking about myself, right?
Right.
I'm just talking about myself, letting people get to know me and what I want to do on my channel. I edited my video myself, so this takes time for me to do this. You know, I'm just being kooky, being funny because this is who I am.
You know, I like to change my voice sometimes. Like this, yeah.
But yeah, you know, that's just me being me, and I feel like I'm being pushed down into this little box and saying your voice does not matter no matter what you say. This is what I feel like on my own channel. This is how I feel. Like I feel like my growth is like, yeah, you just stay right there. Just stop trying to stop. That's what I feel like. Like that's what I feel. I feel like I'm stuck in a goddamn box and I can't break free. I mean, I congratulate Corey because he literally broke free. Like that's good. Like, and he does gaming. He's not doing news or anything like that. He's just playing games. And for the most part, he's not really even online that much. But when he comes back, he's trending, and then something happens to him. I really find that a problem. You're really trying to suppress this man when he's only gaming for kids, giving these kids some joy. And listen, I went on Twitter and I looked on TikTok when I'm looking for Corey to reach out to speak to him, You know what I'm coming across? Fans. I'm not Corey, but I'm a fan. I'm a huge fan of Corey. I'm like, listen, if I could reach Corey, I would literally get him in touch with these fans right here and be like, listen, man, you got a 14-year-old kid who's on Twitter, who's a huge fan of yours. He don't even have that many followers. I think he has like 28 followers. I think he's on either Twitter or Instagram, if I'm not mistaken. But he has only like 23 to 28 followers. But he is a huge fan of yours. Say what's up. Like, look. I mean, like, if I was at his level, I would say, like, who is, you know, a fan? Like, you know, if this is a real big, I would literally shock this person to send them a message. Be like, yo, what's up? You know what I mean?
That's really cool. Yeah, that would be cool. You know, the other thing that I thought, you know, not trying to, I'm just a side point. I want you to notice something, right? Notice how YouTube hasn't even addressed this. I have not heard shit from YouTube. Have you?
No, what I have noticed though is that they did change their upload like how you have to mark off what type of video this is. Like I don't know if you went through it. Have you uploaded lately?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
when you upload,
there's a lot more checklists now. Yeah.
right, yeah, exactly. And you're doing this is not them doing it. This is you doing it and making sure that everything is in that guideline of the video that you're now posting.
Right. Well, here's the thing, right? How can
And
YouTube say
it's scrutinized by a bot.
how can YouTube say that they support black creators and the black struggle and they support our voices, right? When I talk about things that happen to black people, like for example, if a cop fatally shoots, you know, a young black man, when you demonetize me just for talking about that,
Yep.
how can you say you support me when in my struggle of me talking about my struggle of what happened to my people, You tell me that I can't do it, and not only can I never be monetized for it, you're not gonna age restrict it so that nobody can even see it. So how can you say you support my voice, right? When you are making sure that the only person who can hear my voice is me.
Message.
Wow, I mean,
Exactly.
come on, bro. I mean, and here's the thing, right?
It's like you're speaking
Go
to
ahead.
yourself.
Yeah, like and that's the problem. These racists out there who mass flag stuff and just flag stuff, they know this. They know YouTube does not care about you as the black creator. So that's why you
Playing the
But it is a
mortuary
fun game. It
assistant,
has a
and
lot of
only my videos
gameplay.
seem to be age restricted.
I mean, a lot of
and I
yeah. He was
a lot
talking
of
about like
people
how like there was so many other videos that were out there about the mortuary assistant, but none of them were age restricted like his was, right? So it you know, really, when you if you want to overanalyze that, the implications of that, so what are you trying to say? Are you saying that black people aren't age appropriate? What are you trying to say? What is the implications here? Like I gotta ask these questions.
Oh, let me tell you, in the mortuary assistant, there is no curse words whatsoever. The cadavers are not. No, they're not naked at all. I don't think they're naked. No. So there's none of that going on. It's just creepy stuff that happens,
Right.
and it's like you work on the body, you jot things down, and every once in a while, some creepy stuff may happen. But yeah, it's a fun game. But I don't understand, how do you age restrict somebody on that? I just don't understand that.
I don't-
I don't get it, because there's nothing wrong with that game that says like this needs to be age restricted
Right.
whatsoever.
Right, and here's my other problem that I have with that is that, you know, I want to kind of almost I feel bad for the creators of the game, because this has brought some negative precedent. I mean, I'm guessing that ultimately it's gonna be good for the game because more people are gonna actually play it now. But
Right.
you know, my thing is that when you look at the game itself, it's a horror based game. So I'm not, if you're dealing with dead bodies, you know, you're dealing with ghosts, you're dealing with all kind of spirits and demons and monsters, whatever, what have you. That's a given. Why would showing any scene of self-harm or anything like that, right? Any of that, right? And I don't want to get deep into that because, you know, don't want to get age restricted here because I'm black and you're black too, so it's like double freaking whammy. But if you understand that's the nature of the game, why are you even punishing this man at all?
Right. Yep. Exactly.
It doesn't make sense. It's like okay, so are we now going to go through every medical type of video? Well, you know, saw some blood. You know, are we now going to go through, I don't know, every video with the game operation?
Oh my god.
What are the limits here? I gotta ask these questions. What are the limits here?
That would actually be funny if you age restrict operation. That'd be like, what? Like,
It's technically a naked body.
It is, and it is literally. It's just that little holes, and that you're like pulling pieces of stuff out of the body, like a dog or a bone or a fish or whatever. But
Right.
it's technically the same. It's no different from the mortuary's assistant at all.
It's just a board game version of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, it's so weird. You know, I have to ask these questions. We go through the line. We actually obey the rules. They'll make up new rules. Let's play a little bit more of this for the
looked
audience.
for like an hour, 2 hours. I was scrolling all different types of
Say look
people's
for an hour,
video.
2 hours of this, man.
No
Couldn't
one
find
else's
anybody
was age restricted.
Nobody
So
else
I
age
appealed the restriction. Hey guys, I'm not sure why mine got age restricted. Could you look into this?
He appealed.
Appeal rejected.
Appeal rejected.
They doubled down.
Let me tell you something right now. Loc Choco, man, can you tell me about can you tell the people about the frustration of a black person having the appeal rejected when you know nothing violates the freaking content? Because I can go on forever about that.
Now, you want which one? Me exactly? Tell them.
Tell them about the frustration that I'm sure you've had, even though you know you've done nothing wrong.
Harsh. It is a harsh reality when you actually literally have to comb over your video or probably have to re-edit it to make sure everything is right. And also, they won't even tell you sometimes what is wrong. You have to look sometimes in the claim. Depend. I think the easiest way to do this is for music. Music, like if it's not what you call it? Oh man, what's that music type called?
Content ID.
Um, no, not the content. Yeah. Right. If you don't have ownership of the music, copyright it. So if you don't have ownership of the music, you have to edit your video and cut that out, or you can literally they have this little thing where you can like literally remove the music from the video, but it takes time. I think it takes like a good half a day or so to depending, and it'll literally tell you like, hey, this is a section where the music is playing, and if depending on how long your video, if it's different track after track, it's gonna be like, hey, this track was played around this time, this track was played around this time, and you can only do one at a time. So right now you are, and when you have a copyright strike, it makes your channel look bad. No matter what it's from, it makes your channel look bad. So there's like so much you gotta go through. There was like one time I had a three, no, I made like a 2 hour video, no 3 hour video, and I had to throw the whole the whole thing away, like gone, gone. No, it had over 1,000 something views, and I had to get rid of it. So yeah.
Yeah, you know what's frustrating the most about when they, especially in the CoryxKenshin situation. So they understand that Corey, a good bit of his audience are under the age of 18, right? They understand that, and they age restricted to affect his primary audience. It's like it's for someone like CoryxKenshin, it goes beyond just age, putting the age gate on someone's video. You're literally affecting this man's income now. You know,
Right.
and that's my issue with it. It's just like it's people who don't understand what's happening. Well, it happens to white people all the time. Yeah, I understand it can happen to some white people, but white people are also the extreme minority of the world. The fact that it's happening to us so often, and yet so many white people skate by when you are the minority in the world doesn't even mathematically make sense, right?
At all.
It doesn't. So how is this happening unless there's this prevalent view that white is better? And that's why you don't want the face of any company to be black. Or if it is
BT.
black, it's a certain type of the black community that's more agreeable with white supremacy.
I'm gonna give an example of this. There's a on Twitter. They're also on YouTube. They're called News Tutor, right? That's NEWTOTER Tutor, and they are like a black news channel. There's Africa Diaspora as well. That's with Philip Scott. So Philip had this problem at the beginning. I think News Tutor may also have a little bit of this problem as well. But Philip is more well established. I believe he has like 1 million subs for a black news channel, so that's pretty amazing. But he has also different channels. He works with a lot of black people. He keeps people employed, gainfully employed. He doesn't just, it's called Africa Diaspora, so he works with other people throughout who are black. So if you're in Africa, he'll work with you. And he'll literally say like, hey, he'll send out on his channel, he'll be like, hey, we're looking for more people to report the news, something like that, or who can do this, who can do edits, and who can, he wants to employ other black people, because there isn't really much out there. We have to work twice as hard to get anything done, especially when it comes to YouTube, TikTok, Twitter. Like, yo, we're not seen, we're not heard, and if we do speak out about certain things, Seiji Hito, for example, yo, this man doesn't make money off his channel no more. And then he had to make another channel called Seiji Hito Second Coming. I believe he doesn't make money off that channel, but he still uses that channel. It's like ridiculous. Like, yo, we can't win. We can't talk about ourselves, but other people can talk about us. Never positive, always negative.
Yeah, you notice how people like Tariq, right? Tariq Nasheed, like Tariq he couldn't grow on YouTube or TikTok or anywhere else. He had to go outside of that and make hidden colors, right? And that's what pretty much put him on the map, right? Or you look at somebody like I'll give you another great example, Afro Elite, another great young brother. This brother has been targeted on every platform he's been on, and he's become more known for his activism than really his social media than really his social media presence. And as a black content creator, you really have to do that. Like myself, I never grew on YouTube. I've been on YouTube for almost 10 years actually. And I'm at this freaking level because I've been flagged so often. But then I go on TikTok in like a little bit over a year, you saw the freaking explosion. So like I almost had to come in as a fresh new face that no one that no one knew, and then I didn't show myself stuff on camera to maybe a couple of months later, and it almost tricked the TikTok algorithm or like the freaking moderators to thinking, hey, this guy's could be white, could be black, his voice sounds black. But that's my thing though. It's like you almost have to go under a screen just to grow as a black content creator. You have to almost lie to yourself. You have to almost be like Brandon Tatum or what's that other guy, that other coon? Oh God, Anthony Brian Logan. You gotta be like that. You know what I'm saying? You have to almost appeal to white people to grow on a platform when it's mostly dominated by non-white people. So it's a giant minstrel show, man. That's what this is. They are designing it to be a giant minstrel show, so that when they do see you a coon, or you all lives matter everything, or they don't see you at all.
Listen, when I started my channel, I had to think of everything. I was like, do I want to put myself on the camera? Like, do I not want to put myself on the camera? Because I know how YouTube is. I'm not blind to these things. Like, I can read the room. I see, like, listen, when you first get on YouTube, you don't see black creators. You only see white creators. That's just a fact. I've like lost my YouTube account so many times. I don't see black people unless I know who they are, and then I go to them. Or unless I have to type in a certain creator or type in black.
Right.
And hopefully that creator.
I'm gonna give you something crazy, bro. Something crazy. The only major black creators that I know of, I only know about them because at one point they were very conservative and they slowly shifted towards the center. Like, I'll give you another example. The Amazing Lucas is a great content creator for black people, white people, whatever, but he talks about a lot of black issues. But at one point, Lucas was extremely right-wing, right? But then he came more towards the center. And I only discovered him because he was super far right. And I only discovered, a lot of other people, that are painted as super conservative, like a Tariq or anything else. And we only discovered them from people criticizing them. We never discovered their freaking channels just straight up. I've never looked around and saw a Tariq Nasheed video just straight up. I saw some kind of response video with somebody from the African diaspora, some white person or some person who's all lives matter and everything, criticizing Tariq. So you don't see the actual content creator, you see the criticism of the content creator. That's the craziest shit in the world, bro.
Yep, that is a fact. That is a fact. Yo, when I actually found African diaspora, bro, like I said, when I got on YouTube, there's nothing but fucking white people. And I'm literally looking for other black content creators. I have no problem because I like watching Jim Sterling. Jim Sterling cracks me up. His name is Jessica Sterling, I believe now. But yo, when he was Jim Sterling, cracked me up. Jessica, whatever, it still cracked me up. I I don't care that they had they want to be a woman or whatever. I don't give two damns about that. He reports the news. He's funny as hell. He does gaming, gaming. He talks about, what goes on in the gaming community, the shady business practices that goes on behind, behind the games and everything. But yeah, Jim Sterling is cool. But you don't see you when you come on the platform. The first thing that's thrown in your face, like, hey, check out this big white creator. Check out that big white creator.
Right. Like
And
I'm thinking to myself, I have heard of Ninja. You barely even hear about CoryxKenshin. If and the only reason why is because he's suppressed in the algorithm. Because it's a crazy thing. Like really, CoryxKenshin should be bigger than freaking Ninja. But Ninja's bigger.
how did I actually see CoryxKenshin? I know from years ago, my son is when I had like the time I had my son. I think when he was like 1 years old, and I was looking up some information on Clash of Clans because I was sick of getting my base wrecked, and that's actually how I like he wasn't playing Clash of Clans. It's just that I was just looking at other people's stuff, and his name just happened to pop up after the video was over. So I was like CoryxKenshin. That seemed to throw. I was like, wait, this is a black gamer. And the first game I ever seen him play was that shit where you gotta take the pick. It's a indie game on Steam, and you have to take the pick and climb up the mountain, but you have to climb up different things and try to make it up using the pick, and you can't fall down. That's the first thing. That's the only way I know. That's when I knew who CoryxKenshin was. That's it. And he was much smaller then. I think he had like no, he had like I think he had like 1 million subs back then, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, like that's the only way I found out about him. I didn't see him pop up or nothing like that. All I see is fucking white people, white news, white people, white everything. It's like, yo, everything's white. You have to literally type in like, hey, do you know of a black creator that I can actually watch so I can, like say like my locks for example. If I want to like see somebody, like if I type in locks, yes, some black creators will come up. If I check it out, like how do I want to twerk? I'm pretty sure some white chick will probably come up. Because they have twerking schools, bro. Twerking schools. Twerking schools.
Excuse me? What?
Twerking schools. Yes, twerking.
Oh my gosh.
Ass shaking schools. How do you move your hips? Mind you, back in the day, they used to like literally say everything we did was nasty as hell. But
now you want to copy it.
Exactly.
Now you want to copy it. I find that very interesting. You remember a lot of the early gaming nerds were black nerds. You know that, right? A lot of them were in the early days. A lot of them were.
I was called when Halo came online. When Halo 1 was fine because that was mostly offline, but when he was like, yo, it's online, yo, we prepped up because we was gonna play with some people, meet people around the world. It was all good. But as you get into it and months later, you will find like, oh, there are a bunch of N-words in the lobby. Ha 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 ha. I was like, did I just I remember when my best friend came over and he heard that, he was having fun. When he heard that, he was like, what did he just say to me? He was like, yo, he looked like he's about to jump through the TV and break on this kid.
Yeah, people also don't address the racism that you see on
exactly.
The racism you saw like Xbox Live, PlayStation Network. You even seen it on the freaking Switch now. Like it's pretty bad actually.
Listen, I could play Call of Duty and throw somebody off a building and they'll call me the N-word.
Yeah.
And I don't mean Nigga, where everybody think like, oh yeah, that means you're my brother, my friend. No, that's not what it means. It still means exactly what it means. It's definitely calling me a slur. But anyway, they still say it. And I get it a lot. So if I play Call of Duty sometimes, I don't even need to say sometimes. I'm pretty sure if you kill somebody, I'm pretty sure even if a white person kills somebody, Spanish person kills somebody, there is a time when they play Call of Duty and somebody literally calling you effing N-word, you effing N-word. I hear this from kids and adults.
PewDiePie.
PewDiePie. Yeah, I don't know how. Listen, there are people on YouTube and other platforms who say racist stuff and are still on the platform. How are they still on the platform?
Not only are they still on the platform, not demonetized, their videos they don't get age restricted. They're just fine.
Channel's not taken down. Nothing.
So it's totally safe to call a black man the N-word, But if I dare put out content, like for example, I put out a content on TikTok, right? What I was literally explaining the history of bathing to certain people when they were saying that black people are dirty. Excuse me, black folks taught you how to actually bathe in Europe. Okay, so please don't go there. I put that out there, and they flagged the video down. And when I tried to tried to appeal it, it's been stuck in freaking limbo. So PewDiePie could call me the N-word or just go around referring to
Jeffree Star. Don't forget about that one.
Jeffree Star, another
one. Nick Avocado.
Yep.
That's another one.
Yep.
In fact, Nick Avocado literally said, because it's on his channel, and you can go find it, where he says, hey, if you want to hear me say the N-word, go to my OnlyFans.
Wow. Yeah. So that's allowed. But we can't talk about our oppression. We can't talk about the police. We can't even insult the police. We can't insult the police, can't insult judges, can't talk about anything political, can't talk about reparations, can't talk about anything without getting flagged, without getting demonetized, limited state. It lets you know that white folks are more free to insult you than you are to talk about yourself. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say that again. White folks are more free to insult you on YouTube, on TikTok, on Twitter, on Facebook, or Meta, whatever the hell Zuckerberg what's it called now. They're more free to insult you than for you to talk about the police or to talk about yourself or your own struggle.
And listen. Right now, I'm gonna just be honest. Right now, as FBA Foundational Black Americans, we are literally going through erasure. It's called ethnocide. People are literally trying to erase what we have done. So you have like Fat Joe and Busta Rhymes, saying Caribbeans are the ones who contributed to hip hop. Fat Joe is saying Puerto Ricans.
Nice.
I was like, bro, I was born in the 80s, okay? I literally heard Spanish people curse out other black people, calling them the N-word, saying your music is trash, even around that time. It wasn't too the big pun and Fat Joe came out with, what's his name, JoJo? I don't know, whatever his name was. And they had that video where you would see more Spanish people getting towards like hip hop and coming in. And no one didn't mind at all. But now you have ethnocide going on. That is a problem. That is a huge problem. You're trying to erase everything we're doing. I can go on Twitter right now and pull up videos that people have posted from the 1800s, where we have showed that we have been breakdancing since then. You don't contribute to nothing at all. You are a guest in the playroom. That is it. This is our house.
I think that all this effort into trying to push other people into things that we've accomplished is not only going to backfire, it's already backfired. Like I
backfired. Fat Joe's looking like a dumbass.
Yeah, that and even when you look at reparations, right? I put out a video when I was discussing about how Gavin Newsom he signed into law that thing where they're going to separate the black employment data based on lineage. I think that's absolutely interesting. When I put that video out, they tried to flag that video down 4 different times on TikTok. It got like something like over like 30 something thousand views. It was crazy. And I was simply discussing a news article from this thing called Mogul Nation. It's actually FBA owned. So I was just simply discussing like a news article. And it's like, I didn't insult anyone. I merely discussed what a sitting governor in the most populated state in the country just signed. What the hell is flaggable about that? So they actually reinstated it, but there was 5 days in which that video was going to go viral. Right? So I'm thinking to myself, why is it that whenever I discuss things that's dealing with anything with foundational black Americans or just black people in general, anything dealing with like the cops, anything dealing with actual news, right? And it doesn't really matter how innocuous it is. It's almost as if the message is, because I find it interesting how whenever I post a video about dogs, because I love dogs, and everyone knows that those never get flagged. So you don't mind me talking about a dog, you don't mind me dancing, you don't mind me video gaming.
Well, you gotta understand. Believe it or not, white people will fight for dogs.
Of course.
They will fight. They will fight for dogs. They'll clothe them, bathe them. Listen, they'll put them in expensive caskets when they go. Old people have no problem cremating them, keeping them around with the 5 other dogs.
They will, man. They will. But yo, I think that we kind of said everything we need to say about the CoryxKenshin thing, man. Because honestly, Cory, man, I respect what he does. I wish he had have done it sooner. But let's just give him his flowers now that he has, because a lot of other ones still are being quiet. They are still in the sucking place.
Right? Yeah. Yep.
They still there. They still sucking place. But yo, I think that's a good time to wrap up. Yo, man, Loc, man, I appreciate everything you did. Later on, we're gonna be jumping on some games. I gotta download Rumble. What's that game on called?
Rumble
Arena.
Rumbleverse. No, Rumbleverse. Arena.
Okay, Rumbleverse. Okay, I gotta download that. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be for me. Anything for you, man?
Listen, I'll probably say check out my video for FM Mecca. That's coming up.
Yes,
definitely gotta do that.
Yes, FM Mecca. That I wanna watch that video, and if you don't mind, I would love to do a kind of a response video to that, like kind of like me responding to your video, because the FM Mecca thing I haven't even touched yet. I haven't even looked into it heavy. I've only heard what Tariq said about it. I've heard what Tariq said about it. I heard what Philip Scott said about it. The Philip Scott experience. By the way, if you want to follow Loc Choco, check the description. There's links all down in there. But I was listening to a lot of things about that, and I have a lot of opinions about it. I just there's insulting, right? But I think there's something to be said.
This is beyond insulting.
Right. But there's something to be said for a white person designing a black person. Well, saying that, hey, first of all, I wanted to design a rapper. And then you claim that the greatest rapper of all time is a white guy, which is not true. So, but you then don't design a white rapper. You design a black person. And then to design a black person, you have to also add things that you think are black. So what you designed,
so it definitely shows what you think of us.
Right. But anyways, that's gonna be it from us, guys. Loc Choco, follow him on social media. The links are gonna be down in the description. That's it from me, ACAB. I love you all, guys. Be safe. Until next time. Stay black, man. Stay black, man, and whatever you do, man. Whatever you do. All right. If you ever talk about black struggle on social media, just expect yellow dollar signs. Okay?